Charlie O'Hara back in the studio today, here to answer your legal questions. So if you have one, get on the line now. He's going to be here for a few more minutes. 436-1212. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning.
Good to have you back in the studio.
Nice to be here.
It's nice and warm in here, right?
It is, but a little cool outside.
Okay, I know. We're trying to keep the heater on for our guests today. We're going to go ahead and get to the phones. We have a few callers already on the line. Good morning. Are you there? Hello? I don't hear anyone. Okay, we lost that call. She had called Charlie and had asked about some signatures that she said looked a little odd on some legal documents they had, specifically a will. What are your suggestions for an issue like that?
Well, I think, if you got a will that's contested, people are arguing about who the stuff is supposed to go to, and the person that signed it is deceased. If they're still alive, obviously you go to the person that wrote the will and see if that's really what happened. If not, then you're getting in a situation where somebody may have forged or made up the signatures or something like that. You're going to have to go to court and have that determined by a judge, but that's obviously very serious. You shouldn't be forging people's names on documents. It's a crime and has all other implications. It's a bad situation.
So take a close look then when reviewing those documents.
Well, yeah, you sure don't want, usually you can tell. Everybody knows what's going on with the will, but I suppose there's exceptions to everything.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. We're going to go ahead and get back to the phones. I'm hoping we can get this caller on the line. Good morning. What's your question for Charlie? You're on the line. Hello? I'm sorry, I don't hear anything, guys. We'll try to get that back on the line. We're having some issues with our phone. You know, Charlie, we talked about a story earlier with those e-cigarettes, how they just kind of exploded in that gentleman's car. I think the question is, now we've talked about this before, can they sue, but can they sue and maybe have a chance of winning?
Well, I don't know. That's kind of a serious situation, I would think. You plug something in, they give you I assume they gave them a receptacle to put it into the car, and it blows up. It could, that's a serious situation. Nobody was really hurt, and that's what really happens in lawsuits. It's kind of like, I give an example, if you run through a stop sign, nobody's there, and nobody sees you, you run through a stop sign. If you run through it and a policeman sees you, then you get a ticket. If you run through it and run into a car, it's an accident. If you run through it and someone dies, it can be all sorts of things.
So it changes it.
It really depends on the circumstances. It sounded like in that story that you had that there really wasn't much damage other than maybe some damage to the car seat or something like that. But if someone had died or something like that, it'd be a very serious lawsuit.
At this point, maybe even their insurance would cover some of those costs.
Yes,
then.
yes.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Well, sorry we didn't get any phone calls today. We're having some issues with the phone. We'll have to get those fixed. We'll see you next time.
All right, thanks a lot.
We'll be back with more Eyewitness News.